Hey everyone. So, today I want to talk about something that I have been wanting to talk about for a hot minute now. That's why I have some hot tea. Tea was spilled. It's literally tea. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not joking. It's tea. Anyways, what I was want to talk about was how I got through my study. Let me tell you. So I studied to become a teacher's assistant, and I don't know if any other countries have this kind of study. That doesn't matter. I just want to talk about it. So basically, what a teacher's assistant is literally what it says. You are the assistant of a teacher, just like you can be the assistant of like a dentist or someone who works at the supermarket or whatever. So basically what you need to do is support the job of the teacher, and extensive help that would add to the needs of the teacher. So that would basically mean that you can like guide kids who have trouble doing something like math or any kind of language or spelling or whatever, that kind of stuff that the teacher originally doesn't have time for, because that happens here in my country. There's a lot of working pressure in my country, and mainly that's because there is so much to be done outside of just the working hours. What I'm trying to say with that is, after the school closes, teachers are not done. Far from done. They have to check papers. They have to talk to parents. They have to fix administrative like stuff, right? Filling grades, check homework, all that kind of stuff just tumbles onto teachers. Like, it just brings such a big pressure to teachers that sometimes it brings the joy away of their jobs. And because being a teacher is such an important job, to me, I think it's very sad that some of those teachers aren't able to fulfill their job the way that they would want to, and not with the same kind of compassion and effort that they think they would need in order to do their job the way they should. So I want to become a teacher myself. So this was kind of like gateway to come there. And it has not been easy for me. It has not. Basically what happened was, in my first year of doing these studies, right? You can kind of compare this to college. Like, you would have college and then you have the University of Applied Sciences. So first you go to college. And so I did that. She did that. And in the first year, it was just fine. Like, it felt like my high school period was being extended. It felt like an extra year of high school was added, because I did not have any kind of internship almost. And like, the first semester, I did not have any internship, so I just had the manual things that you would have at a normal school, like geography, history, all the languages that we get in our country at school, like English and Dutch, right? Math. So it felt like I was going to high school for the second time, until internship started. At internship, you get real like experience. So that was the first time that I had to lead and guide kids in a class at an elementary school. First few internships went pretty well. And at some point, I just figured out, just like in the second to third year, that I could not plan well. what I'm trying to say with this is that if I would have like this kind of activity or task that I would need to do, my brain could not comprehend. So I had a lot of guidance for that. And also with my exams, I had to redo 2 exams in the last year that I just finished. So you can kind of imagine what kind of stressful period in my life I just came out of. Let me take a breather. So that was a very stressful period. I did my best to do everything the way that I wanted it to. But I had to redo 2 exams, which caused me to basically like freak out. It caused me to freak out so much that I was afraid that I was not even going to make it this year. Why? Because there's like a deadline in which you need to be like, all your assignments, all your exams need to be handed in. The person who leads my studies checks all of those grades, checks all of those exams, looks if everything is in order, like everything is fine. She checks the website, she checks everything, all the assignments I handed in thus far. Guess what? I had to hand in my assignments in the time span, 1 exam that had to be done in 3 weeks. I had to hand that in the span of less than a month. I finished that exam, and as soon as I finished it, the same day it had to be checked, almost. So you can say this study was a bumpy ride. And that's mainly because my planning was not right. So if you would want to do these kinds of studies, if you want to do this, and you're bad at planning, like me, well, not anymore, because it's imprinted in my brain. Like, planning, I am planning now. Like, I plan ahead. Like, I could plan a month ahead now. That's how crazy it has been. I know what I'm going to do in a month. And you think you don't know? I know. I can plan a month in advance now. That's how hands-on you have to be with planning if you want to become a teacher's assistant or just a teacher yourself. You have to make complete plans, complete guidances, complete worksheets for kids that you guide as a teacher's assistant. So I had to make those like a week in advance, hand them in to the person who was guiding me at my internship, and she would have to check it. And then if it was correct, then I would do it the next week. If it was not correct, I had to edit it until everything was fine. That's how strict you have to be to yourself if you want to be a teacher's assistant or a teacher. Because if you aren't, how are you going to be a good example to kids? Like, how are you going to teach kids to hand things in on time? You can. I'm sorry, you can. So I'm so glad that my last teacher who guided me at an internship did that so well. Like, gave me that trust and that quality of becoming someone who can plan extensively and good and organized. That's the most important thing of all. I am currently working last week before the vacation as a teacher's assistant, and I just think it's so nice that as soon as I started working that last week, like, I had to basically replace someone who was sick at the last minute. I knew from the jump what I wanted to do, instead of being lost and just being like, what do I need to do? Now I immediately could tell them, okay, I think I could do this. I think I could do that. I think I could do that. And just this kind of calm inside of me, you know? So yeah, that's kind of what my experience has been to study this. I'm not gonna say that this is everyone's personal experience because it could be, but for some people this was very easy. This could have been easy for me, but I have not made it easy for myself because I could have just said from the jump, "Hey, I'm bad at planning. Please help." But joke's on me. I have not did that. I have not done that. Basically, I waited for like my first 3 exams, like the half of all my exams, because I had 6 in total. Waited for the first 3 exams until I told the person who guides me at my internship, like, "Hey, hello, I'm bad at planning." And at that moment, it was already too late because I had to redo 1 exam, and that threw my planning off guard already. So, off to a bad start. Yeah. But I still think I did a pretty great job for persevering through that. Being like, "Bitch, you're gonna do this." And still graduating on time and handing it in like less than a week in advance before I got my freaking diploma. Like, these are things that only I could do. Like, I cannot. Please don't be this person. I can do this. I'm not sure if you can handle the emotional distress that went with it. But I have to learn things the hard way. That's just who I am as a person. I just think it's fun. I just think it's funny because it's literally me in a nutshell. But yeah, so my future plans are to go to the University of Applied Sciences. Not to be mistaken with a regular university, please. So I'm going to the University of Applied Sciences in Amsterdam, and I'm going to study to become an English teacher. Which means I have a lot in my head right now. Like, there are things going through my head. And of course, I'm scared because this is getting more and more real. In less than 2 months, I will be sitting in the school chairs there, following seminars, following things there, following all kinds of like courses. And I am partially very confident because I know what I went through with this studies and that I made it through this as well. But it also makes me wonder, what can I expect there? And will I be able to do it? So I will like keep you guys updated on my journey as an English teacher. I will probably have an internship after the first semester at a high school as a teacher. So not the assistant, but now I will be the teacher. And that's the thing, the switch from being an assistant and just helping and not having the main role of the class to being in front of the class and giving actual lessons to people. That's the thing that scares me the most at this point. But it does give you the most authority. So I think that as soon as I have the main role and they see you as the real teacher instead of just the, she's just an intern, people will just think like, oh, okay, this is a real teacher. We have to listen to her and we have to pay attention and we have to do whatever she has to say. So that switch could either be very positive or it can be a bit stressful. Or it could be both. So I'm very curious for the outcome. I'll see you guys later. I love you so much. Bye. My dog is barking and I don't know why. I'll see you guys later. Bye.